I wrote a poem this week. It's not funny, but it's not meant to be. It's called Be Kind. Be kind. Wake up in the morning with yesterday's lessons, making you feel heavy and light at the same time. Be kind. Be kind when you're sad, but it translates to mad because your words hold weight. Be kind. Be kind with your growth, even if it feels slow. The tortoise won in the end. Be kind. Be kind in the moments when judgment feels best. The shoe could drop and you could be them. Be kind. Be kind with your breath. It's the gate between death. Take it deep and slow. It's your North Star home. Be kind. Be kind with your past. You did the best with the tools in your life toolbox that you had. Be kind. Be kind when it's hard. Say sorry, it's hard. Let go, it's so hard. You're okay, though it's hard. Be kind. Be kind, it's contagious. It spreads like wildfire and it heals like rest and medicine. Be kind. Be kind to yourself. That's where it starts. It's never too late to just be kind.
Time for
Duh. Welcome to the Rocky Rundown, where you get to learn a little bit about my week. Party God Squad, hello! I hope your week had some love and happiness sprinkled in there, cause dag nabbit, you deserve it. I can only describe my week as nothing short of a blast. Monday night I was catching up with a couple of treasured pals, and we were talking about karaoke. I have my go-to karaoke song, What's Going On? But my friends have something called a karaoke list, where they write down songs that they want to sing in the future at karaoke. How brilliant. We were sitting outside at the bar on picnic table style seating, and my one friend says he has on his list the song, Let's Give 'Em Something to Talk About. My response, I love that song. I crinkle my face to the goofiest face I can make, and I sing nice and loud, How about love, love? And while my upper lip is in full Elvis mode, and my hands look like they're my strong hands, I lock eyes with the cutest guy making his way to sit at the bench behind us. I was embarrassed because I'm human, but I stayed committed to singing because I was in too deep. Then, like I was Nancy motherfucking Downs, I look at the bench that he's about to sit down on, and as he sits down on it, the bench topples to the ground, and he went with it, leaving him mortified. His face was fire engine red. A record scratched. A hush fell over the crowd. Here I was, being embarrassed that I was singing a jovial, catchy song with my friends, worried about what this stranger thought of me. And he ended up being leagues more mortified than I was. He was fine, by the way, but the non-existent power dynamic between us shifted back. And he indeed did give us something to talk about. The lesson? It can always be worse. This week I enjoyed not one, but two amazing concerts. I'll start with the second, which was Farm Aid. I volunteered in the afternoon, then I got to enjoy the likes of Dave Matthews, John Mellencamp, Willie Nelson, Margot Price, who got herself a new fan in me, and the sexy-ass Lucas Nelson. I didn't know about Willie Nelson's son Lucas, and boy howdy am I glad I do now. Yowza. A huge shout out to my dear friend John and his sister Sydney. I am loving this little concert chapter of our friendship, John boy. First Kesha, and now John motherfucking Cougar Mellencamp. May we never stop. Oh, and real quick, this message is for Chef Steven. I didn't ditch you for our other half of the joint date we had outside. I just got caught up with something else, and then I think you left by the time I got back. But, maybe another time. Now I want to flip it and reverse it and take you to Thursday night, when Kara and I saw Coldplay at the Apollo. Absolutely incredible. More living legends making timeless art before our very eyes. Go to concerts, everybody. I cannot recommend them enough. And guess what? At this concert, we got wild, baby. We turned all the way the fuck up. The Rosé waterfall was at a 10, and so were we. I woke up Friday morning on my couch at 7 a.m. next to a half-eaten pepperoni pizza box. Though I remember all of the concert, the end, I won't sugarcoat, was a complete and utter blur. A blackout, if you will, the fourth of my lifetime. Thank God Kara recalled everything that happened after we left the Apollo, and here's her filling me in.
Well, I will be happy to fill you in. So we went in the men's bathroom when the concert ended. Then by the time we came out, we were like the only people in the theater. Everything was packing up, and you go to the bartender, "Can we do some shots?" And they were like, "No, go away." They didn't say that, but that was what they meant. Then we go outside, and we're waiting on the street corner for, I guess, the bus. But we're sitting there talking for, a solid 30 minutes. And I'm like, what are we standing here for? Are we waiting for an Uber? And you were like, I thought you called an Uber. I was like, no. I don't then really remember how we got to your house. I guess we called it. No, you called an Uber. And I was like, just add a stop to my house. And you go, no. You have to come in. And I was like, okay. We go inside. You're like, what should we order? Pizza? I go, yeah, if it'll be here quick. And you go, it'll be here so quick. We sit down. You're like, I want to watch The Big Brother that I missed. I go, okay, I put it on. You put it on. Within 3 seconds, you are asleep and ever so gently snoring. It was so sweet. The pizza shows up. I'm like, Rock, the pizza's here. Rock, the pizza's here. Rock, how do I buzz them in? And you're just like dead asleep. So I run downstairs, get the pizza, bring it back up. I go, Rock, here's pizza for you. By now I had changed the TV to Friends because I was like, she's not watching this. So I give you the pizza. You go, thanks. And then you just put it face down on your chest. So I was like, okay, she won't be eating her pizza, so I put your pizza back. I ate my pizza, and then I kept trying to wake you up and be like, Rock, I'm going to go, Rock, I'm going to go, Rock, I'm going to go. And you just kept being like, yep, okay, But your eyes were dead-ass closed. You never opened them. Then I even hugged you, and you were just like, just like nodding into my shoulder as I gave you a hug goodbye. And then I was like, I hope all these doors lock behind me. There's no way for me to, like, lock them. So I just, like, shoved all the doors, gave them a good hard tug, and then went home and went to bed. So I don't think it counts as blacking out because now you know everything that happened. So you don't have to mark this one for the books. I also didn't eat either, and that was the only thing they were going to charge us for at the theater. So I was like, fuck it, just kept drinking. And also don't forget the 2 glasses of wine that you chugged on the line as we were going in. So that'll do it, baby.
You can't say we don't have fun, Kara. And that brings us to Rocky's highest thoughts, my most stoned thoughts of the week. Number 1, why do our teeth shift throughout life? Where are you going, teeth? Number 2, Ice Cube does not get enough credit. He's made hit song after hit song, starred in countless box office smashes, and he's aging like a goddamn nymph. If Ice Cube comes up in a conversation, you better put your back into the word legend. And number 3, humans are biodegradable, so don't be toxic. My guest this week is none other than the fabulous and hilarious Anastasia Washington. Anastasia is a comedian. She does funny guided meditation for your ear holes and your souls, and she's a positive light in our society. Keep shining bright, baby. Her wild word was Moulin Rouge, and this chat was an itchy-gitchy, good one. If you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. I'm on Instagram and TikTok at Wild Nights with Rocky, on Twitter at Wild Nights Pod, and you can find extended interviews with all my guests on the Wild Nights YouTube page, so check that out. Feel free to write a review on Apple Podcasts. It really does make a difference. And thank you so very much to the tried and true members of the Party God Squad who have done so already. And now, please enjoy my Wild Nights conversation with Anastasia Washington. Anastasia, welcome. Thank you for doing the podcast.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I am also very excited to have you on here. Now, you're in LA right now, right?
I am in Los Angeles and the Valley.
Oh, okay. So the Valley, I don't know. I know I went to LA once and I met a guy who was from the Valley, and because I thought this was supposed to be my reaction, I was like, oh, the Valley? That's far. That's far, isn't it? But I was just trying to be like a bougie New Yorker who acted like I knew what I meant. So will you tell me and all the other bougie New Yorkers, what does it mean to live in the Valley?
I mean, to me, it means that you're a local.
Okay.
Or you've been here for a long time. I feel like once you've officially become like an LA citizen, you realize the value of the Valley. I can always tell that people are not from here when they're like, ugh, the Valley. And I'm like, oh, how? So where are you actually from? But I was born and raised in LA, and I think the Valley is like it's near the studios. It's like basically like where you can have houses and parking and dogs and cats, and it's like you're settled.
You have a little bit of elbow room.
Yeah. Like, and I think you're not going anywhere. Like this is your so to me the Valley is, you are in LA, so you're here.
Amazing. Yeah, I base my knowledge of the Valley off of Cher Horowitz, so that'll tell you how much I know about it.
Right. And she was in a different tax bracket than a lot of people in LA. So.
Yeah, I just remember that scene in Clueless when they're talking about all the highways and they're pushing Ty around. Classic.
Yes.
Are you feeling like for you, LA is getting a little bit back to normal, or is it still strange during the pandemic COVID times?
I mean, I don't think it's strange enough, to be honest. I think things are getting really back to normal, especially in the comedy world. I've been to a few things and I'm like, we are indeed in a pandemic, maybe.
Yeah.
But I think things are getting a little back to normal, as they say, whatever our normal is going to be from now on. I think it's closer to that.
This is the new normal and it sucks. The one thing about New York right now, we are also getting back into the swing of things. They're reopening Broadway, and one of the shows on Broadway that includes is Moulin Rouge. Oh, Sacre Bleu.
Sacre Bleu. That is such a good segue.
Oh, thank you so much. So Anastasia's wild word was Moulin Rouge. So we're going to get a little French. We're going to get a little down and dirty. Yeah. And I'm excited. I know everyone else is excited. Let's hear it.
This is a crazy night.
That's perfect because this is Wild Nights.
Wild Night, right? So I went to France when I was 18 on this tour called Kentucky. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it. You have to be under 35 to be on the tour. So it's 18 to 35-year-olds. So basically means it's like drunken hookup tour through Europe. That's basically what it is.
Right.
So I went when I was 18 with my sister and her boyfriend, and we went to France. And this one night got a little bit crazy because the thing is, like, I was 18, just 18, and I had
a freshie.
I was very fresh to alcohol. And I think it's the first time and probably the last time I got belligerently drunk.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I learned how to hold my alcohol. This was not that moment.
Gotcha.
We went wine tasting all day. And then
and this was something that was part of the tour, the wine tasting.
Right.
Okay.
So they we're on this big bus and we're just like going from one wine place to a next wine place. designated driver, obviously, because it's a big bus.
Yeah.
Like literally, my sister said me and my brother-in-law were just like every single second that we were on the bus, just like passed out like the tastings, right? And then we went to the Moulin Rouge, which I was so excited about because I was obsessed with the movie.
Right.
Like I was just obsessed. So we go there. I'm already on, let's see, I mean, there's a 10 out of 10, but I was probably 11.
Gotcha.
Alcohol wise.
Been there.
And then we're drinking more.
Yeah.
And we're seeing ladies hoo-has, and we're seeing all kinds of funness. And I had started hooking up with this guy on the tour that was 30. And to me at 18, I was like, ew, he's so old and boring. Right.
He has things he has to worry about.
Right?
Yeah.
He has a job.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Like it's just like not even a job, a career. He has a career.
He's a man. He's a man.
He's a man. So I had a few drinks at the Moulin Rouge, and then we decided to go next door to a club called, I think it was like called like Crazy Chicken or something.
Okay.
Like not El Pollo Loco, but something like Loco Pollo. You're right. I was very drunk, so it could have nothing to do with Crazy Chickens at all.
Yeah. It's like Randy's Rooster House and you're just calling it the chicken spot.
I'm like, it's something Crazy Chicken. Maybe I was hungry. So we went next door, and I don't know. I got mad at Dimitri, who was the guy I was seeing.
The 30-year-old.
The 30-year-old. Mm-hmm. And it was during my Russian phase where I was just like, any Russian guy that could say Anastasia really sexily, I was like, yes, I need that in my life. I learned, but I hadn't learned at this point. So there was no learning.
Right.
So I got belligerent, and I was like drinking, and I was like, Dimitri, you are so old and boring. And he was like, okay. And I was like, and you wear bikini underwear. So like really loud.
So just so we know, how long would you say that you and Dimitri were hooking up for?
A week.
A week. Okay. So he's a newer lover. He's also on the trip, or does he live in France as well?
He's on the trip.
He's on the trip with you, but from Russia.
No, America, but he's Russian. Yes.
America, but he's Russian. Perfect. So you tell him that you're at the chicken spot, the bird spot, the food spot, and you tell him you're boring. Very loudly that he's boring. Okay.
And he wears bikini underwear, and that is weird. Very loud. To which my sister said, no more drinking. To which my brother-in-law said, oh, but I'm going to buy her more.
Yeah, he was ready to see where this ended. Yeah.
Yes. And then so basically he bought me more alcohol. I was just like all up in Dimitri's like grill about like his bikini underwear for the next 10 minutes. I don't know why it bothered me so much that he wore bikini underwear, but something about those leopard skin bikini underwear bothered me to the max.
Well, I didn't know they were leopard skin. Yeah, that's another layer.
Well, that's another layer, right?
Yeah.
So then basically we decide, my sister's like, we got to get out of this club. We got to leave. So we're walking with this other like it's two couples and me, and we're walking out. We're walking through the streets of Paris to like our hotel, and we see this guy with like a Bob Marley shirt on, and another guy with like a Russian Soviet like symbol on his shirt. And one of the couples is like, I want to buy your shirt. And the guy was like, okay. So the guy took off his shirt, and they gave him a couple euros, and then they were also like, do you have weed? And he was like, yeah. I do, because I have a Marley shirt, and
this is my sign.
And I have like a Soviet symbol, so obviously.
Weed.
So we bought hash off them, and I had never I had never smoked anything before, and we got a can of some kind of soda, like a Coca-Cola Light or something. They carved a hole in it, and we smoked hash out of that.
For your first time ever was hash?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then we got really hungry, and everything closes very early. So we had to go to the vending machine. And, I don't know if you know this about France, but vending machines in France are in French.
Oh. That is so inconvenient.
Oh, right. And francs are different than dollars and change.
But they don't use American money over there?
No.
Those motherfuckers.
Right. And this is before euros. It's before euros. So they're like, so we were like there at this vending machine, like idiots, trying to figure out what exactly we needed to put into the machine to get food out.
You're putting like $200 American in this vending machine for something that's equivalent to 70 cents, 75 cents. Like, what is 70 cents in a vending machine, Rocky?
I mean, I don't know. It could have been because I didn't know. I didn't know. So I don't know. Finally, we got some chips out of it, and I think I passed out.
Oh my God. Now, Dimitri, was he was not with you because it was just you, your sister, and her then boyfriend, and the other couple that you were with. So he was kind of like not going to go down this road with you all.
Right. Not until the next night when we hooked up again.
Okay. So he was like, back for more the next. Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, give it a break. Also, I think my sister was like, you guys, we're...
How old was your sister at the time? Because you said 18 to 35, so she had to be older than you.
She was like 30.
Perfect. Okay, so she had a little bit more. I mean, when you're 30 partying with an 18-year-old, you do have to kind of keep an eye on them, but also you want to teach them how to party. So she was probably a great person to have on that trip.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I mean, I needed to learn from the best.
And this is a silly question because, hangovers, we know how they feel, but how were you feeling the next day? Were you kind of like, did you have that youthful spirit about you, or were you kind of like, this is terrible?
I tell you, I have always had the youthful, like next day, more energy. I don't believe in hangovers, except for in the case of food. I always have food hangovers. I never have alcohol hangovers.
That's very interesting. So you'll get like a headache and feel unwell from food the next day, but not from alcohol.
Yeah, no.
I could be making this up, but I did hear that there are certain people who have a gene or something that they don't get hangovers. So maybe that's you. Maybe you fall on that. But I could be making that up.
I love that for me. Because I have that gene, that DNA gene where I don't like the taste of cilantro or IPAs.
Oh, interesting.
So I want something positive. That's a positive gene.
Was this the tail end of your trip, or this was right at the start of it?
Oh, it was smack dab in the middle. Yeah, we had much more to do. We went many more places, and I caused many more problems.
But this was a special night because you were a little out of control. And you also smoked hash for the first time. You flip out on this guy. But then from there, the rest of the trip, you kind of scaled it back. We're still wild and crazy, but you scaled it back a little.
Yeah. And I mean, I think we just like, I became a woman.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. I knew how to balance my alcohol. And I never really ever got belligerent again. That's good.
Ever. Yeah, it kind of taught you a lesson, like, I don't want to behave like that. Like, I still want to party, but I don't want to behave like that.
Yeah, I was an ass. Yeah.
And normally at 18 years old, that's not how you behaved. You're not that kind of person.
No, not really. I mean, I was like, I don't know. I think from working so young, because I was a child actor, like I saw a lot of douchebaggery.
Yeah.
On so many levels, and I was just like, I don't ever want to be like that. And I saw people at their worst because of drugs and alcohol, and I was like, I don't want to be that person. And then I was that person for a night, and I was like, ew,
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's well, that is such a evolved way of thinking, and that's such an evolved way of being because you see the latter all the time. I mean, myself included. I feel like I just got kind of I reined it in on how I behaved with too much alcohol only a couple of years ago. I was like, huh, you know what? I don't want to be like that drunk and a mess anymore. I think I'm getting a little too old for that, and I need to reel it in. So, to learn that lesson at 18 is just, I mean, kudos to you. You must have done some like past life healing for show, and came back this like evolved spirit. You're like, I had my one night with Dimitri and his stupid ass leopard panties, and then and now I am I'm a wise sage at 18 in France. But to also be a child actress and then see that behavior, you see the wildest things in Hollywood. So
Oh
that's good for
yeah,
you.
yeah, I saw some stuff when I was like, and I was always kind of an observer. People were always like, let's do coke. And I was like, I'm going to watch you guys be idiots and I will
Yeah.
take pictures.
Yeah,
and it'll
yeah,
be
yeah.
great.
Everyone loves when people take pictures of them when they're doing cocaine. I
Right?
mean, that's the one thing people are asking for. Hey, I'm about to blow this line. Could you just get a shot for the gram? No, not that gram. Not that gram.
Right. I mean, like the my high school and middle school experience with like drugs and alcohol and stuff like that was before social media was really a big thing.
Yeah.
I am very lucky.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, I did shit like that
Yeah, of
should not
course.
be seen. I mean, I probably would tell everybody about it because I'm
Yeah.
just that person. Like
Yeah.
I'm that kind of person that would like murder somebody and then walk up to somebody and be like, I murdered someone, I suck. You
Yeah.
know, like I would definitely tell myself.
You're like just making everyone down the line an accessory to your sloppy murders.
Yeah, I would just be like, I can't like I'd be like, tape this and put it on my social. No, I'm just kidding. I would not be a good murderer.
That is so funny. Well, I'm happy to hear that. That was a crazy story, and I'm sure have you made it back to France since then?
I have, yeah, like as a proper adult, I
Right.
have. And I'm not gonna say that we didn't get crazy because we did.
Yeah. You can get crazy and still be a well-behaved person. You can be, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Or I don't even want to say well-behaved, an in control person, in control of what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, the last time we were there, I established protocols for how we would call guys that we found attractive. I'd be like, oh my gosh, the weather is so beautiful here. And they'd be like, yeah, I need an umbrella. It's so wet. You know, like we had this like whole, like, that means that guy's hot, you know?
Yes.
So we did that. And I discovered a love for football and going to pubs to watch football. Football in Europe, though, you guys, is soccer.
Soccer, yes, soccer. The codes.
Soccer.
Yeah. The codes are very important, especially I feel like for single women. My girlfriend, like me and one of my girlfriends, Kara, we will go out and like, you know, either fishing or hunting for dudes. And when we're out, we always come up with like a little code word for like if a guy is hot or whatever. But one time we were out and she tells the story because we were sitting across from each other. We were next to each other at a bar, and these two guys start talking to us. My guy, so cute, so hot, so like, you know, just I was really into him for the moment, right? And so Kara's guy, I guess, was not the one. Like he was just a total asshole, total tool. And me and her knees were touching each other. And she's grabbing my knee like, bitch, we gotta go. Like, like, and I was like, I gave her a look like, I know, right? They're so cute. And she's like grabbing my knee, and then we leave the bar, and she was like, what the fuck? Oh, that was like, I was saying, help me. And I was like, oh, I thought you were like, you know, Eureka, we found good men. I thought we were on the same page.
Yeah, you gotta have the same code. Like, I mean, sometimes it's really funny because we also have this code like in my friend group where when we want to talk about like really in-depth sex stuff, but we don't want to be like those girls at brunch, we start talking about a bicycle. Bicycle means your current penis that you're involved with. That's your penis. So right. So we're like, this new bicycle is like blah 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 blah. So we were at a party when we were talking about our bicycles and stuff like that, and then the woman that was having throwing the party, she decided to like open up her garage, and she was like, oh my God, look at all these dusty bicycles. My bicycle is so rusty. And we were just like,
No.
Jen, no, stop talking. She's
Abort
like,
mission.
The bike, right? The bikes have not gotten used in a while. I don't know how to get all this rust off the bike. I'm like, oh my God.
You're like, girl.
That's a miscommunication.
That's a miscommunication. Well, I will say this. I already feel a very kindred spirit with you because we have something in common that maybe the naked eye does not get on first glance, but I too am a biracial actress and comedian in these streets, just like you.
Up in these streets.
Up in these streets. And I get very excited when I meet other fellow biracial performers, you know, especially ones that are as, you know, white presenting as me.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Like we have our own unique situations we've been in, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, my brother and I were sitting on the couch, we're watching TV one day, and we see this Cheerios commercial, and the dad was black and the mom was white, and we just like slowly looked at each other like, oh my God, I feel so seen. That looks like our kitchen.
Right? I can't help it. Like when I'm out in the world and I see like a little blonde, like clearly like, you know, mixed kid, or like, you know, just like, or that like, you know, that like, I don't know, I'm not blondish, but I'm like, I'm everything. Right. Is my hair color. And I
have
see
options.
That and I'm like, right. And I'm like, oh my gosh, look at the little baby bees. And I can't help it. Like I squeal, you know, because I'm just like, look, you know, and I think like, you know, they have that nod like guys do to each other, and I feel like we have that nod. Being
agree.
Biracial, we're like, I see you.
I agree. You. I wish there was like a biracial dating site where you could just go on and be like, okay, he's mixed, I'm mixed. This is great. You know what I mean?
Have you dated a mixed guy?
I went on,
or a girl.
I went on a date with one guy once who I found out, and this is horrible. Like I would never, this is how he came out as mixed to me. He called himself a mulatto. I thought he was white. And he used the word mulatto. And I was like, my whole body tensed up. And I was like, I can say that word. You can't say that word. Like, what are you doing? Like, why would, and he goes, no, I am. He was not from New Zealand. He was lying about being from New Zealand, from South Africa, but he was actually from Florida. He was a con artist. It's a whole thing. But he was biracial. And that part about him was true. And when he told me he was biracial, I got so excited. I mean, my panties were dropping. You know what I mean? She was ready. She was ready to fuck, and she did. And
yes.
And I was like, this is incredible. Like, we're gonna start our whole life together, and then we're gonna have mixed babies, and they're gonna be double mixed, and everything's gonna be perfect. And who knew life could be so good? But you know, he ended up being a bad seed.
He was a con artist.
Yeah, he was a bad seed. But he was really hot and very mixed, and I was very happy about that.
The term mulatto is very interesting to me because I have a visceral reaction to it too, and I don't think a lot of like I was at the Madonna Inn, which is this like really cool
hotel, right?
Hotel, yeah, and I was in the lobby, and this guy like was like, you know, like kind of staring at me, which is usual, you know, like because like when you're mixed, people are
what are
like,
you?
What is happening?
Yeah,
what's happening with you? What are you? So he's staring at me, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And then he finally goes, are you mulatto? And I was like,
oh my God, ugh.
And my friends were like, is he allowed to call you that? I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, I'm mulatto too. And I was like, oh, I still don't feel good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I still don't.
It's a really icky word, and that's why it like sent chills up my spine when he said it. But then when he was like, I'm half black, half white, and then I was kind of like, all right, we're good. I get it. Okay. I was like, maybe that's a South African thing that they use the term more loosely because it is it was never in vogue to say it, but it was definitely more popular at a different time. So so when he said it, I was kind of like, ugh. So for someone to call you that to your face though, I mean, I can imagine how you felt, and
I was just like,
fuck that guy.
And my friends were like so confused. They're like, I don't know, is that a proper? I was like, I don't know like what our proper terminology is, to be honest. There's a lot of unpleasantries. I mean, I remember this one, right? I remember this one person was like, oh my God, now I know what high yellow means. And I was like, okay,
Whoa.
Please don't talk to me like that.
Okay, so I don't know that one. I've never heard that.
Yeah, I mean,
is that
it's
us?
like passable. That's us.
Oh,
it's
passable.
Like, it's like, yeah. It's just such a weird. It's just they have so many terms.
Yeah.
And
they're not terms of endearment, people.
No. I had some very interesting nicknames in college. Like there's a group of Black men that used to call me PN, pleasure inward, because that's where I would be. I would not be in the field. I'd be on my back, is what they would say. I was like, oh, thank you.
Oh.
I tried to put it, I recently put it in a script I wrote, and this one white dude read it and he was like, oh my God, that's such a compliment. I was like, oh honey,
no, it's not.
He's like, they're saying you're attractive. I was like, no, they actually aren't, but
thanks for playing. Yeah, no way, Jose. I fucking hate that shit. There's so many, and that's the problem with also being like, I guess it's a problem, but it's also not so much of a problem. But when you hear specifically Caucasians say something super racist behind closed doors, not knowing that I'm mixed, that always stings really hard. And it kind of,
absolutely, yeah.
You know what I mean? It stings in a way where it's like, this is what you would say if I wasn't here right now. And it's just, it's really, it's an icky feeling. But then to think that even if I wasn't here, this conversation would still be happening. And I'm just like making you a little less comfortable speaking in front of me the way you really truly feel.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. And I think sometimes we accidentally make them feel comfortable to say things. And I'm like, you wouldn't say this to another person of color, but you think you're comfortable enough because I'm biracial to say that to me. And I'm like, sometimes I'm tired of being a bridge, because that just means people are walking all over you, you know? It's a hard situation, but you know, I think good things come from that. Like, obviously we are the people that people can talk to about stuff, and we can correct it if we need to, but it is a lot of responsibility. It's a lot of responsibility.
We're bridges over troubled water.
Right?
There's some troubled water out there.
I need to be like a drawbridge where I get a break every once in a while. Let's bring this bridge up and give her a break.
Please, for the love of
but we don't always get that.
Oh my God.
Which is, you know,
it's hard. It's really hard. And I could talk with you about this forever. And I feel like, I hope in the future we get a chance to talk about this in person over some drinks as well-behaved biracial women in these streets. But
we'll try.
We'll be, this will be, I take you out of the this is how we finally get her to behave poorly, women behaving badly together.
That's like our one night.
I am already signed up for this night, but I want to get back to you a little bit. And what do you have coming up, going on, that people can plug, or anything you want to chat about so the listeners know?
For sure. Yeah. I just actually started doing self-help meditations with humor. You can look them up on Spotify and iTunes. There's one about getting to your most confident self. It has a little bit of a twist. I am night like that shit. So definitely listen to that. And you can find it under my name, Anastasia Washington, on all of your podcast platforms.
Beautiful.
I also am going to be in Black Women in Comedy Festival in LA, if you're in LA. I think they're also maybe streaming some stuff. So that is where you can find me, as well as Screamfest LA. Those are both in October. Okay. So So those are 2 comedy things that are coming up, 2 festivals that I'll be in, Screamfest LA and Black Women in Comedy. So,
well, congratulations on getting in both those festivals. I know that's going to be a
thank you.
really great time. And if I can stream anything over here on my end, I will definitely watch you in that. And I will also share your podcast on my end as well. And let everybody know where they can find you and follow you.
Sure, you can follow me at any Target. I'm just kidding. I am there a lot. You can follow me at Anastasia W on Twitter, at Anastasia Wash on Instagram. I'm also on TikTok, but because I'm over 30, I don't know what I'm doing, at Anastasia W as well.
Girl, TikTok.
I'm trying, you guys.
Can somebody please, for the love of God, invent a TikTok instruction manual that can be in paper, that can be mailed to my house, that I can, just flip through in my free time, because I do not know what I'm doing. That's so embarrassing to admit, but it's true.
It's true. I don't know. They keep coming out with more formats. Like, I've been getting used to Reels on Instagram.
Yeah.
I feel more comfortable there, but you can find me on TikTok. You can also find me on YouTube at Anastasia TV. I try to make content as much as I can.
Yes.
It's all over there. No.
It's all over there.
Try.
Well, you heard it here first. Please follow Anastasia. Check out her content. If you're in LA, go to the Black Women in Comedy Festival. And what was remind me, the second festival?
Screamfest.
Perfect.
Screamfest.
And Screamfest LA. She is in both of those in October. So follow her for some funnies. Anastasia, I really, really, really enjoyed hearing your Wild Night story. I really enjoyed talking about being mixed in America with you, and I just love your energy, love your spirit, and I can't wait till you are calming me down when I'm listening to your self-help meditation podcast, because a bitch loves to meditate.
Yes. And it has a unique spin, because I think self-help should have a sense of humor as well.
I agree with you. Well, Anastasia, this was so wonderful. I really look forward to continuing a chat with you in the future. And thank you so much for doing the show.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. We'll chat soon, okay?
Okay.
All right. Bye.